Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So, in the last class, yesterday, we have discussed about the introduction part of the advanced e-commerce, where in the first unit, we learned about the origin of e-commerce, evolution of e-commerce, the meaning, the definition part, then where it is used, what are the importance of e-commerce, and what are the challenges and the problems faced by the e-commerce in India. So now we'll move on to the next unit, that is under the block one. The second unit is on managing electronic commerce. So we have understood the introduction part. Now we'll move on to the next one, that is the managing electronic commerce. So in this unit, we will be understanding about the market size and the major developments of e-commerce in India. We will be understanding the e-commerce technologies and prospects of e-commerce in India, and also the contemporary e-commerce issues what we come across in India. So let us understand how the managing of electronic commerce takes place. See, as we have understood the few basic concepts of India, so we have come to a conclusion that modern business methodology especially addresses the need of organization, merchants, and consumers, all those to have a knowledge of information technology. That is, we have been moving towards a trade through the World Wide Web. So e-commerce generally doesn't require employing salespersons or acquiring any type of rooms or any infrastructure for that matter. And here we can have faster consumer response, improved service qualities, and minimizing the product life cycle, all these things. So managing e-commerce is always concerned with how the individuals are starting up their own businesses through online stores. Sometimes, though the starting up of business is looking to be easier, many of the individual who start up this their business through online stores will also fail very easily. So why such things are happening, or what are the advantages and disadvantages of having a e-commerce venture? All these we will be understanding in this unit. So for example, a market study needs to be done to understand the SWOT about the managing of electronic commerce. That is, before starting an enterprise concerning with the e-commerce, the individual who is interested to start up should have a knowledge of the market study. That is, he should know what is the competition or potential competition for him, or what are the opportunities for the growth, how the prices have to be set, what kind of products and services are in demand, or what kind of customers they are supposed to be catered. All these things need to be analyzed so that they can compete in a proper manner. So companies generally compete in various forms, both in physical and digital domains. So in the traditional concept, we call it by the name brick and mortar model, which is nothing but a physical model. Now we can see under that we can test the products, we can try them, and we can use it or we can exchange it, all such things. But in the case of digital marketplace, here that concept of touching and feeling will be missed. So that is what we call it as intangibility here. So any digital marketplace, it includes all the activities which take place in the place or a home or e-commerce. So hence, it can be considered as something which induces impulse purchases in the individuals. So, however, with the online marketing, marketplaces are removing, and that is need to be understood through social media and social media interactions. So, companies which are having physical business setup, and in addition to their physical business setup, they get into e-commerce. They will have much capabilities than the individuals who directly start with the online businesses. This is because the companies which are already having the physical presence, they will be well established and they will be having greater credibility than those who are going to get into a business, online business, without much credibility. That's the reason. So let us understand the market size and major developments of e-commerce in India. So in the year 2022, Indian e-commerce market was predicted to increase by 21.5%, which was reaching about US dollar of 74.8 billion. And e-commerce has transformed the way business is done in India. So the Indian e-commerce market is expected to grow around US dollar of 188 billion by the year 2025. So much of the growth of the industry has been triggered by an increased internet facilities, the penetration of smartphones, and even the Digital India program has also enhanced the upcoming or the booming concept of e-commerce in India. So in India, the online grocery market is estimated to reach about 26.96 billion US dollars in 2027. Then um, in by the year 2030, it is growing from US dollar 537.5 billion, which was in 2020. So, according to Grant Thornton, e-commerce in India is expected to be a worth of US dollar of 188 billion by the year 2025. So that is how year by year the turnover rates of e-commerce business in India is increasing. So which is propelled by the rising use of smartphone penetration, the launch of 4G networks, and increasing consumer wealth in the Indian e-commerce market, which is expected to grow about US dollar of 200 billion by the year 2026, according to the sources. So after the China and the US, India stands as the third largest online shopper, which has a base of 150 million in financial year 21, and it is expected to be 350 million by the financial year 2026. So the Indian customers are increasingly adopting even the 5G smartphones even before they are rolling out for the next generation mobile band technology in the country. The smartphone shipment has reached about 169 million in 2021, with 5G shipment registered a growth of 555% year on year in 2021. So we can say that in India, the booming up of e-commerce is mainly because of the usage of the good quality of smartphone or penetration of smartphone even to the lower economic group people in the country. So some of the major developments in the Indian e-commerce sector can be considered as okay. There are certain developments in the Indian e-commerce sector, which include in the year 2022, the Amazon India signed up an MOU with the Manipur Handloom Handicrafts. So these indicate that the government of Manipur enterprise support the growth of artisans and weavers across the state. So to encourage that e-commerce through e-commerce of the handloom handicrafts, the Manipal government entered with MOU with the Amazon in the year 2022. Then in India's e-commerce sector received about a US dollar of 15 billion investments in 2021. This is the highest investment value received by any sector ever in India. So in February 2022, Expresses, a logistics e-commerce platform, this became a unicorn valued at US dollar of 1.2 billion in 22. In February 2022, Amazon India launched One District, One Product Bazaar on its platform. This is specially to support the MSMEs in India. So MSME stands for micro, small, medium enterprises. So then in 22 February, Flipkart also launched a sellback program. Into January 2022, Walmart invites Indian sellers to join US marketplace with the aim of exporting. Then in January 2022, Flipkart has announced expansion of grocery services. Then in the similarly, in other cases, even in the into September 2021, Amazon launched the Prime Video channels in India. The Prime Video channels give Prime members a seamless experience across the variety of popular video shows, streaming services. So Flipkart in India has is functioning as the powerhouse of e-commerce. Then Flipkart added a new fulfillment center in Dunkani, which is a place in West Bengal. Then we have Goofers, the grocery delivery startups. Mastercard invested in undisclosed amount of Instamoji. Then in the year 2021 May, Amazon introduced a video stream services, which is in the mini team features web series. Then in May 21, Flipkart strengthened its grocery infrastructure to cater the customers' safety. Then in 21 May, Flipkart announced that it talks to severe funds, private equity majors. Then in the April 21, Flipkart announced to acquire ClearTrade. Then in April 21, Kirana commerce platform Elastic Run raised. So Avatar Ventures Partners and Process Ventures. So Amazon acquired Bangalore-based retail tech startup Perfuel for rupees of 107.6 crore. Then in March 21, Captain Fresh, which is a B2B market place for seafoods, it was raised to US dollar of 3 million in seed capital led by Matrix Partners in India and Ancore Capital. Then in the March 2021, a confederation of India of all India traders, which represents 80 million traders and 40,000 trader association, announced the launch of mobile app for its e-commerce portal, which is known as the Bharat e-market. So the association aims to get more small traders to sell online very easily through the smartphones. So we can accord that in India, the rise of e-commerce is best supported by the usage of smartphones. Now, let us understand the perspectives of e-commerce in India. Especially, the perspective of e-commerce is acknowledged to three ways. One is for the technology, one is for the business, and for the society. Now, let us understand the organizing themes of these three concepts. The first one is technology. So, understanding e-commerce, especially, is based on the infrastructure which we are going to incorporate. So, due to the development of digital computing and communication technology, understanding the e-commerce requires the basic concepts of information technology. That is the fundamentals of computer science. You need to have a knowledge on that. So, it needs a wide knowledge of gathering not only about the web and internet, but even about the cloud computing, desktop computers, mobile devices, and operating of local area networks, different databases, the client servers computing, data mining technologies, or even managing customer relation through internet services, all these things. So one has to be aware of the concepts such as packet switching communications, IP protocols, then HTML, even the Java and other sources of languages of computers need to be understood to a greater extent to operate with e-commerce business. Now, how it is acknowledged in the business, let us understand. So, any business for that matter, it is based on the return on investment. So, e-commerce is also based on return on investment for a company. So, once the technology is applied over a business, it becomes commercial. So, creating interest and excitement on the e-commerce and presenting the business with the new ways of production and transaction is much more important as far as the business is concerned. So one need to have a knowledge of digital markets, digital goods, business models, the film and industries, and even the value webs, industry structures, consumer behavior, and the financial analysis. All these which are involving through e-commerce criteria. Now, how the society is impacted or how the society is acknowledged through e-commerce. So, impact of globalized e-commerce is just making a pressure on the society to enforce the various legal concepts. So, this that is because it affects individual privacy of the customers and the gathering the information of the customers, then analyzing their behavior, having the intellectual property right issues, sharing the digital copy of whatever the copyrights contents, the musics, the books, the videos, and new inventions. All these things are concerned with security issues. So, Society, in a society when e-commerce is at a greater rate, we need to have special laws or the legal focus. So this is the concern towards the societal concept. So academic disciplines which are concerned with e-commerce. So mainly we consider two perspectives of academic disciplines. One is on the technical concept and the other one is on the behavioral concept. So when it comes to the technical concept, we are having the different teams like the computer scientist, operational management scientist and information technology teams. The computer scientists, so these are the individuals especially who are concerned with the salient applications of the internet standards, inscriptions, the data management, the software, hardware, and all the improvements relating to its operations. They are all concerned with the computer scientists. Second one, which is concerned with the operational management. So these are the people who builds the mathematical models which can be applied for the business models and improvise them. Thirdly, it is concerned with the information technology team, and this is concerned about the data mining, business analytics, and the search engine, and also the most prominently the artificial intelligence component. Now let us understand the behavioral discipline. So behavioral discipline. So this is concerned with how the involvement of all these perform in e-commerce. So under behavioral concept, we have the information scientists. These are interested in e-commerce because of its involvement in the industry value chains and structure and also framing the corporate strategies. While economics are the people who study economics are interested about concerning towards the online consumer behavior. Here they are going to understand about the digital goods, their pricing, their features, and the electronic market, how it is going to respond. Then uh, making campaigns and advertisement campaigns, and what are having the firms which are having potential brand, the segment markets, target markets, and how they are going to get the return on investment. All such things will be analyzed by the people who are concerning towards the study of economics. Then there are even marketing scholars. They focus on the ways of marketing, development of their brand, expansion of their firms, understanding the online consumer behavior, and analyzing the capabilities of e-commerce technologies in dividing and also reaching their target markets. Then management scholars. So these are the people who purely concerned with the managerial activities. So these are also concerned with entrepreneurial behavior. So they try to understand the challenges posed by the e-commerce, especially by the newly started firms during the organizational structure in a very less time period. Financing and accounting scholars are interested in valuation and accounting practices, which can be accorded through e-commerce. And psychologists, they try to understand focus on the usage of individuals, like they try to understand the internet usage or web usage as a social network, and for purchasing and selling of different kinds of products and all, that is done by the psychological analysis. Then there are legal scholars. Say these legal scholars, especially they work on the concepts like intellectual properties, then property in the issues concerning to the maintenance of privacy, content regulations. All these things will be done by the people who are in concern with the legal knowledge. So these are the aspects of behavioral disciplines. Now let us understand the e-commerce technology. Here, and to understand the e-commerce technology, we have to understand the 8 unique features of e-commerce which are challenging the traditional business methods by enforcing the technological aspects. So, unique feature represents the features which are specific for the e-commerce only compared to the earlier or the traditional marketing concepts. Now, the first feature of There are about 8 features as we have already discussed. They include ubiquity, global reach, universal standards, richness, interactivity, information, density, then personalization and customization, and the last one is social technology. Now let us understand these concepts one by one. By the term ubiquity, we means that e-commerce is catering the requirements of customers at any time and at any places. That is, whenever the customer is required to make purchases over their phone, by using their phone, they can place their order at any part of time, at any part of the world also. So this creates e-commerce create a market space. So this concept is known as the ubiquity because here the customer saves their time and energy from traveling to different geographical locations, but just with the concept of market space, they can obtain the required material or place the order of the whatever the product they are in need of. So this figure 2.2 shows the e-commerce technology with the various features. Now, by the meaning of the term global reach, so since we are at the concept of globalized world now, so through the internet or e-commerce business, we can have a reach for the different parts of the world very easily. So not only reaching the local areas, but we are also reaching the different parts of the world. So that is known as the global reach concept. Now, universal standard. So, since we are catering the requirements of customers of different parts, so there is, and all these are shared through the internet over the world. It is we will be following certain standards which have to be matched for different parts of the world also. So that is known as a universal standard. So this generally helps in decreasing the market entry cost, reducing the search cost, then detecting the product price as product description, and also finding suppliers and the product delivery terms which are very much easily from any part of the world. Now the next feature is richness. So richness is generally the complexity and the content of the message, which is referred as a richness of information. That is, rather than a face-to-face communication where a company representatives gives the details of company and its products to the customers, unless that stage of process in e-commerce, we are supposed to make the customer attracted towards our products just through the information. So to give much good knowledge about the company, about the product, the e-commerce practitioners, they are going to give a huge number of informations or any type of complex informations to the receiving end. So that is why it is known as the richness. Now, interactivity. So here, this interactivity represents a two-way communication. As the term interactivity indicates, it's a two-way communication, and it is between the merchant and the customer, or maybe even between the two consumers. So this represents the interactive feature. So consumers can directly chat with the merchant, like the face-to-face experience here, or the interactions are in terms of community forums, which provide the product comments, responsive websites, and social networking sites by sharing the like for a product. So the next feature is information density. So information density indicates the quality and the amount of information among all the participants of e-commerce. So here, the pricing transparency of the product removes the transpiration disparity among the customers at the same time and cost transparency. Merchants make use of customer information to target over the different sectors of population for different product pricing over the selling of the same goods. And the cost discrimination is also made based on the quality and the brand of the product. So this is information density. Now, personalization and customization. So, these indicate based on the previous purchases and interactions which are made with the customers by the company, the merchant can collect the consumer behavior from information density. Then he personalizes the targeting specific individuals by messaging based on their interest. So here the customization mentions the changing uh, of the delivered product or services based on the consumer requirements. So by the term personalization and customization, we mean that the companies are interested enough to cater the requirements of particular customers according to their tastes and preferences, and they'll be having the personal contact with their customers. Then social technology. So this social technology provides e-commerce where the contents are prepared by the experts of the same location and it was consumed by the mass. But with the origination of social e-commerce technology, user is given liberty to create their own content and share it in the worldwide in the social network. So here the users are also given the privilege to channel their own content consumptions. So there are varieties of prospectus for e-commerce. So in India, mainly the prospects or the challenges what we can identify is it is because of the differences in the customs, the traditions, and legal aspects of different parts of the world. So many of the international issues which arise relating to the e-commerce are related with the legal aspects. They are also concerned with the tax, then privacy concerns, because each country has the right to pass the law and the levy to taxes on the business which operate in their own jurisdiction. In European countries and American countries, there are strict laws which are enforced to safeguard the consumers. But in our country, to a greater extent, this is yet to be much developed. Now, e-commerce is already a very big, it is getting much bigger, we can say that. So, actual value of transactions currently conclude online is extraordinarily influencing the internet users. So, when the technology is bubbled in 2000, the crazy valuation of online companies vanished and many businesses fold up. So, the survivors plused on the best they could encourage by growing the number of internet users. So according to America's Department of Commerce, online retail sales in US market in 2007 was about 130 billion, but the Commerce Department's figure deal with only a part of the retail industry. So we can say that this has been increasing at a very high rate. So, for example, Walmart tells its suppliers that they must use its own system if they want to be a part of its annual turnover. So, annual turnover is about $350 billion, which is a B2B service of Walmart. So internet is profoundly changing the consumer behavior. Usually, one in five customers which are walking into the sales department of stores in America, they try to buy an electric appliances. Then they have reached to purchase this online, and even for every three out of four in America, they start shopping for new cars online. So the information about cars and the best available data are available in the internet itself. So the people seem to enjoy shopping on the internet compared to the traditional way of shopping. So if the high customer satisfaction scores any guide, the websites are doing much more effort, which are cleverer things than to serve and entertain the customers. So a company that neglects its website may be committing commercial suicide, we can say that. So that is because a website is increasingly becoming the gateway for any company's brand, products, and the services. Even if the firm does not sell online, the users of website suggested it is a good company. So if it is not properly present in the website, it vanishes from the mind of the customers. The other way to get noticed online is to offer goods and services through one of the biggest sites that already get a lot of traffic, like the huge traffic holding e-market systems include the eBay, Yahoo, Amazon. They are the huge platforms. At least the companies can make use of this and sell their products. So even if the websites are prevented from shopping their goods abroad, There are plenty of websites based entrepreneurs which are ready to oblige. So there are certain contemporary issues faced by e-commerce, especially in India. The first one is mobile e-commerce. So most of the customers' time is spent over the mobile devices for booking services, making the online payment, searching online contents. So hence the mobile devices play an important role in the development of e-commerce. So for online transaction over a period of time, the internet is utilized. So this is also known as the mobile e-commerce, or even we call it by the term m-commerce. There is one more term known as social e-commerce. So e-commerce which are generated by the social network and online connections are generally known as social e-commerce. So demand in creating the Facebooks, Instagrams, Pinterest, YouTube accounts, liking and dislike of social contents, development of collective online tools for shopping, building online connections through friend recommendations, creating virtual shops over social network, buy buttons and shopping tabs. All these come under the e-commerce content. So social e-commerce is also known as collaborated with the mobile devices by creating an app for Facebook, YouTube and Instagram to keep up the consumers engaged through the messages. And this variation of social e-commerce is known as conversational commerce. Now, there is one more term known as the local e-commerce. Under this, they try to engage the consumers to e-commerce based on their geographical location. So the local shops are the merchants which are using the various marketing strategies to attract their regular customers for their shops, creating a better business are put together. This is known as local e-commerce. Like for example, having a Reliance Mart, then MedPlus, all these are the local e-commerce techniques. Like in Reliance Mart, maybe they are going to give discount coupons for the next purchase. And in MedPlus, we can come across that they are going to provide some points for us. In the next purchase, we will be getting discounts on summing up of those points. So that is the thing. So here, so with this, we come to conclusion of your second unit under the first block, that is managing of e-commerce in India. Now let us understand. We will be summing up of this or having a revision of these contents here. In your textbook, they have given in the page number 34 a few things to be remembered, like the technical standard for conducting e-commerce over internet. It is shared all over the world. It is known as the universal standard. The two-way communication between the merchants and consumers or between any two consumers represents, since it is a conversation, we call it as interactive features of e-commerce. Then in the third one, e-commerce generated by social network. So e-commerce generated by dash network and online connection is called as social e-commerce ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So it is social network. Then the fourth one is variation of social e-commerce is dash. So variation of a social e-commerce is known as conversational commerce. Then engaging consumers to e-commerce based on their geographical location. This is known as the local e-commerce. So that is about the second unit of the first block. Now the third unit is based on the business models for e-commerce. I'll be sharing the slide just a few minutes. ಹಲೋ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಹಾ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಇಲ್ಲ, ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹಾ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಇವರು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೌದು, ಕಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಗುಡ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಪೂಜಾ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನೀಗ ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಅಗೇನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಓ ಸಾರಿ. Hello, can you hear me? Kindly give comment. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Okay. Is the PPT is visible? Hello. ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್? ಓಕೆ. Okay, let us continue with the third unit by the time it is uploaded. So, business models for e-commerce, that is the third chapter in the block 1. So, we'll be discussing on that now. So, business models for that matter, usually they try to give the methods of doing businesses by which company can sustain for itself. It's like, for example, for generating revenue or many a time this models spells out how company is going to make money, how it is going to position its products. All such things can be understood through the business models. So, in the business models of e-commerce, in the page number 38 of your book, you will come across a world wide web, how it allows the companies to function efficiently by implementing the trading processes. So, for instance, these include many search services and brokers which are available to help the buyers to find information about the products, merchants through electronic markets. So many different ways are there to categorize the e-business models. They can be broadly classified into different categories. Like the first one is e-business models based on the relationship of transaction parties. Second one is based on the relationship of transaction types, and the third classification is by the revenue model. So a revenue model usually comprises of product sales model, which charges customers directly for the product and services they are going to buy. Then subscription model that charges a fixed monthly or annual rental for the services. Then transaction fee model charges a service fee based on the volume or the value of transactions offered. Then advertising support models that charges advertisers instead of charging the users. Sponsorship models that provides sponsorship by the companies for non-financial reasons. So there is another fourth classification. This is the classification by distribution channels. So here the distribution channel may include the direct marketing, where manufacturers like the Dell, Nike, Lego, Sony market, they directly from company to sites to the individual customers. And even the pure play, they are the e-tailers who have no physical stores, only an online sales presence. They are going to reach the customers. They usually it is the Amazon.com is an best example of such model, and clicks and mortar retailers. So these are the people who are traditional retailers with a supplementary website. Like the best example for such kind is the Walmart.com. So in the figure 3.1, you can come across about these models which are assembled together and given the name as the e-commerce. So business models for e-commerce can also be classified further into different categories, like the direct marketing versus indirect marketing, the fully cyber marketing versus partial cyber marketing, then electronic stores versus shopping malls, generalized e-malls versus specialized e-malls, proactive versus strategic cyber marketing, global versus regional marketing, sales versus customer services, all these things. Now let us understand the online extension of the BAM model. So BAM model here it stands for brick and mortar model. Is the slide is visible? Okay, the online extension of BAM model. So BAM here stands for brick and mortar organizations. So here, the conventional model is brick and mortar organizations. They have established processes, people, structures, and supply chains. So usually they can become strong competitors to the dot coms, which generally do not have any offline presence. So enabling their supply chains, most of the BAM organizations will gain more competitive advantage by creating the more value for their customers because of the delivering the customers to the same cost, and also sometimes it is lesser than using the internet. So this is what we have discussed. These are this is the picture which is showing about the e-business models. Now we are discussing on these things. Okay, the different types of models we have discussed. Now we are here, the online extensions of BAM model. So BAM generally the brick and mortar indicate brick and mortar organizations, which are nothing but the organizations which are having their physical presence. So we can say that the companies which are operating with both physical presence as well as the online presence will have much more competitive advantage than those which are operating only through the online operations. Say, for example, if an automobile manufacturer can pass on the cost saving achieved by e-procurement, a bank reduces need for physical branches by making use of e-banking, then leveraging supply chain by making use of information relationship and commerce. So all such things would enable the BAM organizations to have a much more level of efficiency, which are unparalleled to the dot coms or the online business presences. Now, e-business models based on the relationship of transaction parties. So this we have discussed earlier. We have named it. The first type is a business model which is based on the relationship of transaction parties. So electronic markets which are emerging in the fields of different industries have markets with different characters. Say for example, if an information business to customer market differs in many respects from automotive business to business market, that is B2B market. So in the former case, this represents the companies that sell digital information goods such as news articles, music, books, or digital videos. In the information of B2C market, the electronic infrastructure is not only helpful to match customers and sellers, but also they try to act as distribution channels, which are even delivering the products to the customers. So in case the infrastructure of such servers and networks must be support to the delivery of the large file streaming media, the other type of digital goods in the efficient way. So this B2C market over the internet can be viewed as an open system where a number of participants is unknown. So in the automotive markets, which are having B2B market, the product traded such as the parts or components of cars have a high degree of specificity. The market infrastructure used to be mainly based on the EDI, that is electronic data interchange over the expensive WAN services. So usually EDI involves the exchange of standardized structure information between the organization, then permitting the direct communication between the computer system. So at the heart of B2B applications, it is strong integration of different applications, servers and networks, software which are need to be provided. So uploading the nature of markets requirements in a critical for creating the underlying e-commerce structure. So in the page number 41, this picture shows about the relationship between the B2B model and the B2C model. So here you can come across the raw material producer to the manufacturer. So this is a B2B transaction, whereas from manufacturer to distributor, then to the retailer and to the consumer, these indicate a B2 consumer model, that is B2C model. So business to consumers. So here consumers are increasingly going on online shopping for purchase of the products, arrange for finance, arrange for shipment, and take delivery of digital products or softwares, get their service done, whatever it is. These even include the retail sales, which are often known as the e-tails. So e-retailing is known as e-tail, and other online purchases like the airline tickets, entertainment venue tickets, hotel rooms, then shares of the stocks. All these things can be B2C business. So many traditional brick mortar retailers like Barnes and Nobles now they are becoming e-tailers with web store form. So some of the B2C e-business provide high value content to consumers for subscription fees. For example, these include e-business following the subscription model, which include the Wall Street Journal, which is for financial news and articles, then consumer reports for product reviews and evaluation, and even we have the ediet.com. So under this, you will find the nutritional counseling related articles. So there is one more B2C business models, which include the virtual malls, which are the websites that host many online merchants. Virtual malls typically charge setup, listing, or transaction fees to the online merchants, and they may include the transaction handling services and marketing options. Examples of such malls include the Excite.com, Choice Mall, Women.com, NetworkWeb.com, Amazon.com, Z Shops, and even Yahoo.com, and many more. So, e-tails, which offer traditional or web specific products or services, they are over the internet, and sometimes they are called as the virtual merchants and provide another variation in the B2C model. So example of virtual merchant include the Amazon.com for books, electronics, toys, and music, and even we have the First Cry for children books and toys, and even for apparels and other things. And fashionmart.com is for personal accessories. So some business supplements which are successful traditional mail orders business with an online shopping site move completely to web-based online. So these businesses are sometimes called as the catalog merchants. So examples of these catalog merchants include the Mintra.com, which is specifically for cosmetics and fragrances. Then we have India Mart. Here you can find the cookware, kitchen accessories, and Agio. They are for garments, and Swiggy, Zomato, all these things, the food orders. So many people were very excited to about the usage of business to customers on the internet. So because of the new communication medium, which has allowed the businesses, the consumers to get connected entirely with the new ways. So the opportunities and challenges posed by the B2C e-commerce are enormous. Now, there are different reasons like why one should opt for the B2C transactions compared to the earlier or traditional way of marketing. So, these are inexpensive and give big opportunities for the operators. That is, once on internet opportunities are immense as companies can market their products to the whole world without much additional cost. Then they can have global reach or globalization. Even a big and a small company, the even being a small companies, the web can make use to appear to a big player. We can reach the cross-border transactions. That's the meaning of the term globalization. Then reducing operational costs. So compared to the traditional marketing, where different costs have to be borne by the manufacturer or the marketer, that can be avoided. Then customer convenience. So here the searchable content, the shopping carts, promotions, and interactive and user-friendly interfaces usually facilitate customers' convenience. So thus it generates more business, and customers can also see the order status. Then knowledge management through the database systems, the information management can we can found that who visit the website will know how to create better value for the customers. Now let us understand how the concept of B2C work. So B2C commerce is more than just the online stores. This process can be explained through the diagram in the next slide. So here, the first stage, visiting the virtual mall. So generally, the customer visit the mall by browsing online catalog. So a very organized manner of displaying the products and their related informations can be found relating to like the description of the product, its availability, its prices. Then finding the right product becomes very easy for the customers over there. So with the search engine, they can do the virtual mall visit. So this is the first stage over there. Then, secondly, the search engine. Here, the search for the product rating system. Product rating system, the contents of the products, then customer support systems, the bulletin boards, newsletters, and other components related to the product can be searched at the second stage. At the third stage, the customer buys the product, that is through a shopping cart system. Order details, shipping charges, taxes, additional charges, and price totals are presented in the organized manner. The customer can even change the quantity of certain products. In the virtual malls, they have very comprehensive shopping system complete with the checkouts. Then, in the fourth stage, the merchant processes the order. Merchant processes the order which is received from the previous stage, fills up the necessary forms, then payment is processed through credit card or any virtual kind of payment. The customer is authentically paid. Then the other payment methods can also be used, such as the debit cards and any prepaid cards, whatever it is. So then in the operation management, when the order is passed down to the logistics people, the traditional business operation can also be used. So things like inventory management will be incorporated even in the e-business at this stage. So getting the product to the customer is the most important aspect of e-commerce. Then the next stage is a shipment and delivery process. So the product is shipped to the customer. The customer track even can track the movement of their product. So delivery tracking module on the website, which allows the customer to check the status of particular order, can also be used. So at the next stage, the customer receives the product. Then after receiving by the customer, the product is verified. The system should tell them, that is the firm, that order has been delivered or whether it is fulfilled the customer requirement or not, all such things. Then there will be the after sales services. After sales services have made to the customers to maintain the good relationship with the customers, especially the last stage, that is having the after sales services and maintaining relationship with the customers. All these things will be done by the customer relationship management concept, that is the CRM. Now let us understand the way of functioning of business to business model. So in this model, the e-commerce, whereby a company conducts its trading and other commercial activities through internet and customers, is another business itself. So earlier we were discussing on business to consumers, and now it is business to business. So for one company which is conducting the business activity, the other company is the customer over here under business to business component. So here, this is the huge opportunity area where companies have by the large computerized operations worldwide. This is done by the supply chain software, which is an integral part of the ERP applications. So many of the B2B sites are company and industry specific category community users, and they'll be having combination of forward and backward integrations. I hope you people are aware with the concept of integration systems, the backward and forward integration. Say for example, if it is a textile industry, the backward integration indicates maybe growing of cotton or maybe anything, the activity which is relating to the before manufacturing of that. Then after manufacturing, whatever the things we are going to have, for further sales of the products. Such activities become the forward integration, maybe having the retail of our own or distribution of our own channel, like that. So companies which are huge achieving savings in distribution related to cost due to their B2B options. Now, apart from these things, we do have to understand about the different components like e-business models based on the relationship of transaction type. So earlier we were discussing on the relationship of transaction. Now it is on the concept of transaction type. So on the basis of value addition, we have value to pro service because of the opportunities that is offered on the web, and the second one is on the basis of control. So here control is the hierarchical control, and the low end there is no control. So that is self-organizing. So usually control means we call it by it is controlling through the policies of websites. So based on this, there are 9 types of transactions which we can identify, like the brokerage, aggregator, intermediary, community, value chain, subscription, manufacturer advertising, and affiliate. So these transaction types usually takes place in a variety of ways, and moreover, any given firm may be combined with one or two of these types of web business strategy. There is no specification that they have to opt only for one kind of this. Nothing like that. A combination of these transactional types can be opted for discussion usage. Now, in case of this brokerage model, they have a characteristics like the price discovery mechanism as a key principles of this. So it is the meeting point for sellers and buyers. Actions and exchanges are modes of their transactions. It is a free market consisting of global network of buyers and sellers. It is virtual market space enabled by the internet, and it encompasses all types of organizations. So here these are the things. So this diagram indicates a value integration transaction model. So let us understand the advantages of a brokerage model. Advantages of brokerage model, there are following advantages. In C2C trading, allows buyers and sellers to trade directly bypassing the intermediaries and reducing the cost for both of the parties. Secondly, again here we will be having the global reach. Trading is very convenient, which allows the trading at all the hours and provide continuously for update information and a sense of community through direct buyers and sellers communication. So efficient access to information, elevation of risk of anonymous trading, all these can be the advantages under brokerage. So under brokerage price discovery mechanism, there are 3 kinds of price discovery mechanisms known as the auction, reverse auction, and market exchange. Okay, let us understand about. So this is about your third unit in the first block. That is, here we have understood about the various business models of e-commerce. So in your books, in the page number 47, they have given few questions which are important. Dash is the model of e-commerce whereby a company conducts teaching through internet and customer is another business. So here the customer is another business means it is a B2B business model of e-commerce. Then the second question, a dash is the method of doing business by which company can sustain itself. It is a business model. It is a method of doing the business. Then some B2C e-businesses provide high value content to the consumers for dash. Here the answer is subscription fees. Now the fourth one is B2C or e-business models. They include dash, which are websites that host many online merchants. So it is nothing but the websites which are using many online merchants, which is concerns with the virtual malls, what we discussed earlier. Then after the firm sells goods to the consumers, it has to maintain good relationship with customers, which is done through. So every company to maintain the relationship with their customers, they will be having a system of managing the data of customers and having the contacts with them, having their feedbacks and other related aspects, inputs through the customer relationship management. That is nothing but the CRM mode, what we have discussed. So with this, we have concluded the third unit of the first module. So now let us go for the fourth unit of the first block. The fourth unit is concerned with the usage of internet in e-commerce, or we can understand how the concepts of internet or different aspects of internet are helpful in having the e-commerce activities. Just a minute, I'll just change the slides. Okay, let us move on to the fourth unit of the block one, that is internet and e-commerce. So in this chapter, we will be understanding about the history of internet, how the internet softwares and the types of mobile phone, computers, all these things are utilized for the purpose of e-commerce. So internet is derived from the word internet networking. So here it is nothing but an interconnection of network computers, which is called as the host providing service for individuals, linking the business, education institutions, government agencies, all these things. So it is generally not controlled or owned by any organization. The service provided are like email, messaging, shopping, research, video, audio, all such things. So the more popular service provided by the internet is known as the web. So it is nothing but web is a collection of pages which are containing the graphics, contents, videos, audio, and other attractive objects. So usually they are created in a programming language known as the HTML. So web browser is used to host the web pages, and the navigation from one page to another page happens through a click of hyperlinks. So this is the introduction of the internet and web related concept. Now let us understand the history of internet. So it was started around 55 years ago. So that is divided into three phases. The development of internet has been divided into the three phases known as the innovation phase, institutionalization phase, and commercialization phase. So the first one, innovation phase. So this is from the year 1961 to 74. This phase started with the fundamentals of internet concepts like the packet switching, global computer networks, the common communication protocols. So and common addressing schemes for all computers were connected through network introduced. So here the clients or the server computing were implemented on hardware, software, and share the files. They run applications and also send messages. In this phase, the internet was basically implemented to connect large mainframe computers on different college campuses and all. So second one is institutionalization phase. So this is the time period from 1975 to 1995. In this phase, internet was made use by the US Department of Defense and National Science Foundations. So they provided funds and authorization for the development of internet. Later, the wide area packet switch network with distributed control, which was called as Advanced Research Project Agency network, the hyperlink concept, navigation from one page to another, then concept of making internet available to all. The concept of making internet available to all is known as the civilian internet. That is what we are all using. So the idea of giving names to the network addresses is called as the domain name. So the domain name system is the DNS, which is for easy in understanding of the client, which was commercially introduced. Netscape for the first time, the commercial web browser was initiated during this time period. Then from the time period 1995 onwards, the phase is known as the commercialization phase. So under this, the private corporations, they took over the expansion of internet over military and college, resulting in establishment of fully commercial civilian network. So this period was the beginning of e-commerce, providing services for the retail stores and auctions. Now, there are different features or core contents of internet services. So, in the year 1995, the Federal Network Council termed internet as network that supports transmission control protocol, that is TCP, and uses IP addressing schemes where information system is logically linked together by a global unique address space and provide voice and data services to the public. So the basic concept required to understand internet is packet switching, that is TCP/IP communication protocols and client server computing. So here the packet switching is nothing but a segmentation of digital messages into several individual units, which are known as the packets. So these packets are dispersed along several paths from the sources and reassembled at the destination. So earlier the communication was through a dedicated network between one end to another end of thermal end, which is known as the circuit switching network. Then here the point-to-point network has been set up before the communication, which can process a large amount of communication. Time is wasted for pursuit between the boards and assembling the circuit segments. So later, that was they were switched these messages into different segments, and these segments known as the packets. So each packet is appended. So each packet is appended with other informations like the source addresses, destination addresses, the length of messages, total number of packets sent, and error control bits, flow control bits, all these things. So this they are ensured. The program written over it called as the routing algorithm, ensuring the packets reaches the destination of computers where all the packets are assembled to get the message. So this process helps in using any spare capacity over a network, unlike dedicated circuits switching to the network. So in the next slide, here you can understand the concept of original text message, then later how the text message was digitalized into the bits, and how digitalized bits broken into different packets. And the last stage is header information, which was added to the each packet indicating destination and other information related to the message and all these things. So a client server computing, and the client requests the resources and server provides the resources. So here a server may be server multiple clients at the same time, while client is in contact with only one server. But both the client and the server usually communicate through computer network, but sometimes they may reside in the same system also. So the next slide, here, this indicates how the client and server system works. So in the left hand, you can come across the three systems where through which the clients are going to communicate through, and through the internet, the same thing is processed through the servers. So the salient features of client server computing include like they work with a system of request and response. The client and server should follow a common communication protocol so that each can interact with each other and understand the input, process, and outcomes. Then the server can only accommodate a limited number of client requests at a time. Then denial of services attack hinder a service ability to respond to authentic client's request. An example of such client service computing system is a web server. So it returns the web pages to the clients that requested them. So there are various aspects which we need to understand while understanding about the internet. One such thing is the software. What the kind of softwares are used in internet, and how the software is going to function to provide us the e-commerce facilities. The first concept under this is the hypertext. So here the web address which are typed on the web browser software in a personal computer, they fetches the web pages required from the server where the resource is hosted through network using the HTTP. So this HTTP is nothing but the hypertext transfer protocol. So this is a way of formatting the page associated with the links that connect one document to another document, connecting the pages. So with other media like the graphics or sounds or videos or any type of animation files for that matter. So all these things. When a hyperlink is clicked over the page, the graphics get opened and the video gets played over there. So web page address or web address typed over the browser is composed of several parts like domain name, directory path, and the document name. So here, for example, they have given here the example HTTP, domain name, all these things. You can come across this one. Domain name, directory path, and the file name. So this is an example of the HTTP. So hypertext transfer protocol is used to fetch the display page requested by the user. Then domain name specifies the name of the organization. Directory path, this is the actual path where the resource is resided over the hosted server. And the document name serves the actual document which is requested for. So these are the examples of such cases. Now, this is about hypertext or HTTP. Now, the next one is HTML. So, HTML is hypertext markup language. So, this is the most widely used web page formatting language. So, it was introduced based on the generalized markup language developed in year 1960. So, it is a set of markup tags which are provided to format the web pages. The web browsers will interpret these tags into page display. The HTML defines the style and structure of the web and pages, including heading, text formatting, even positioning tables and graphics. From the day HTML was launched, the browsers are adding to the features continuously. So hence, e-commerce website is designed, it has to be taken care. So in the recent version of HTML5, this introduced features like the drag and drop, video playbacks, mobile websites, responsive websites, adaptive web deliveries, and other things. So HTML design can be done on software tools like the Notepad, Dreamweaver, etc. Now the next one is XML. So it is extensible markup language, unlike the HTML and HTML is usually used for the look and feel display of the data on the page, where XML is used to describe the data information, which is rich in syntax, extendable by allowing the user to create his own tags. It transforms the data into new formats and importing the data from the database and displaying it as a table. So the entire enterprises can usually use XML to describe the invoices, the payrolls, financial information shared through the organization through intranet. So these are the examples of XML format. This is called as a really simple syndication, or in general, it is RSS, stands for really simple syndication. This helps the user to include the text, articles, blogs, files, digital contents of the data sharing over the internet, all these things. Example of such things include the Feedly, Reader, and the Newsletter. Then there are various applications of internet. So these include the smart home. So smart home has become evolutionary ladder in the residential development. So it is a very common as the smartphones, a special feature of Google and now deployed in many areas to make life convenient and user friendly. Smart home is designed to save time, money, and energy. So this is one thing. Electronic devices like wearables, they are installed in different sensors and softwares. They try to gather the information of the user, where data is processed and give required information about the user. So such devices can mainly be used to monitor fitness, entertainment, and health. Mostly they work on the ultra low power and available in small sizes. So you might have observed the smart watches and all, which gives the monitor or the health benefit concepts like your height, weight, how much you have walked today, all this. If you have set the steps, how much you are supposed to walk, and all these things. They are the best examples of the electronic devices which are used for the purpose of monitoring the health benefits. Then automated digital technology. So this is connected on optimization of vehicles and their internal functions. Automated car is designed to specific features with the give comfortable zone to passenger, onboard sensors and internet establishment. So many companies like the Tesla, Apple, BMW, NG, Google, etc., they have been using these processors along with automobile industries installing the excellent features with internet. Then industrial internet. So industrial internet is nothing but investing in industrial engineering. So again, and in investing the industrial engineering, they combine this with the artificial intelligence. So the data analytics, they try to build brilliant machines. Then the in part motto is to build smart machines which are accurate, compatible with the human holds, and also they was potential with the good quality, reliability, all such things. So applications are deployed of tracing these the goods to be delivered, the real data, the time regarding the retail suppliers, all these things can be understood through industrial internet. So this picture shows the internet applications. The one thing is, and the next one is the smart city component. Smart city is another major implementation of the internet, which are employed for distribution of these different public works, like distribution of water, distribution of automatic transportation, environmental monitoring and environmental protection methods, then solving irregular traffic problems, and even the apps are developed to report to municipal systems. Citizens can be diagnosed with simple malfunctions, and then electricity systems through electricity board applications, then websites. All these things are considered as the smart city components. Smartphones are also used for retailers and customers uh, to stay connected for their businesses transactions even out of store. So it is beacon technology to help business people provide the smart services to the client. They can track the product, enhance the store dashboard, and deliver premium order before scheduled date. Smart grids. So it is the idea applied in smart grid is to gather the data in an automated way to analyze the attributes of electricity. So consumers to improve the efficiency and economy of usage, smart grids can be easily detected and power outage and shortage quickly and fix them sharply. So this is about smart grids. Then healthcare services. Healthcare services, this is one of the major applications of the internet. So where smart medical systems are installed to diagnose and cure the diseases at the early stages. Many machines learning algorithms are used to image processing, classification of detection of fetus abnormalities before the birth. Then the main aim applied in the medical field is to provide healthier life for all the wearing connected devices. So to gather the medical data of patients, made the treatment easier, and monitoring the devices is installed to track the sugar and even the blood pressure. All such things they are the with the help of internet. Then internet and World Wide Web. So the web server is software that delivers the web page written in HTML to the client computers over a network. So when we install and request for a service, it is made using the HTTP. The web server software on Linux and Unix platform, Internet Information Services plays significant role in Microsoft platforms. So web servers also provide functionalities like the security services, file transfer protocols, then search engines, data capture, and many more. So here, security services indicate providing authentication and authorization of the persons who is accessing the particular websites. Then file transfer protocol indicate transfer of the file to and from the server. Search engines indicate search engine web for the particular document. Web server software associated with the index with each web page to make easy keyword search over the content and delivering all like matching the web pages. Now data capture. See, the log file maintained in the server will keep the track of number of times a particular website access. So the details of the user who have accessed the website date and time of access, length of access of information on specific pages they were accessed. This information can be later used by the site managers to analyze the specificity of most popular websites. So web client, it is a computing device that is capable of requesting a document from the server using HTTP and displaying the HTML pages. Web client can be any mobile devices like the printer, refrigerators, or the home lighting systems. It can be anything. Then web browser is a software which is used to display the web pages. When a user requests for the web page from particular website, the web browser will fetch the necessary content from the web server and display it on the user's device. The examples of these include the Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, the Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Safari, and many more. So these are all the web browsing systems. Now, let us understand the concept of extranet and email. So far we were discussing on the internet components or internet components. Now, it is for extranet and email systems. So, extranet refers to the internet which can be accessed by the outsider. So, extra is out here. So, it enables the business to do the transactions in a secure manner. So, email is a tool that allows people to connect globally, either one to one or to one to many on the basis. So these include the email, messaging apps, online message boards, and internet telephony, all these things. So electronic mail is the most widely used communication tools, which is very much used these days. It is associated with set of protocols and supports text, images, audios, videos, and the file to be sent to the person or through the internet along with the embedded text in the mail and the files such as documents, audio, video, and other image files, is all such things. Then message apps. These include the instant messages which allow to share the messages in real time. It allows the messages to share in real time. Unlike the email that takes several seconds to reach the recipient, the text appears more instantly on the receiver side using the instant messaging. So the sender will create a buddy list whom they want to send or whom they want to communicate with the type of message and issued by the buddies instantly, and they can respond to this. So I think you people are familiar with the components of group messages, group chats, and all, like how we are going to create in your cell phones. So that is the component of messages app. So it is considered to be much more cheaper compared to SMS and MMS texting. Examples include the Google Hangouts, Yahoo Messenger, Skype, and other things, and even the messages what you are going to send through the Facebook or WhatsApp, Snapchat, Viber, all those things come under this message apps. Then online message boards. Online message boards refer to the forums or the bulletin boards or even the discussion boards in a web application which enable the user to communicate with each other. So the messaging boards provide a separate thread for the members of the board. Firstly, the board administrator has to grant permission for the members for the board to start their own thread and to reply to the other people's. Then the board administrator has authority to edit, delete, or modify, or even move the thread on the message board. So here the members have to visit the board and to get updates on the new posts. So internet telephony. So while when the existing telephone system is built over the scratch using internet, the packet switching technology over the network with TCP or IP, it would be made less expensive and more efficient. So it is here the voice over internet protocol and packet switching network to transmit voice calls. Then currently it has become more popular since it's provided with a triple play, that is voice, internet, and the TV at a single package. The best example for internet telephony is the Skype. Now let us understand about the mobile computing. So here, in human computer interactions, in which a computer is expected to be transported during normal usage, which allows for transmission of data, voice and videos, and mobile computing involves mobile communication. So mobile hardware, mobile software, all these things. So communication issues include ad hoc networks. Ad hoc here is improper network. So then infrastructure networks as well as the communication properties, protocols, data formats, and concrete technologies. The hardware includes the mobile devices or the device components. So they deal with the characteristics of requirements of the mobile applications. There are different types of mobile computers. We will be understanding of these mobile computers. So these are the PDAs are the personal digital assistants, mobile data terminals, smartphones, tabloids, laptops, etc. Now let us understand these concepts. Personal digital assistant are the PDA. This is also known as the pocket computers or palm top computers. So they are handheld computers which are versatile in nature, have many features like calculators, clocks, calendars, sending and receiving emails, audio recording, video recording, typewriting, then word processing, spreadsheets, scanning barcodes, playing computer games. All these things will be available in the PDAs. So they can be employed touchscreen technology also with the Wi-Fi connection. Then MDT, it is mobile data terminal. So it is a computerized device used for emergency vehicles like the police vehicles or courier vehicles, even the military logistics use this, and to have warehouse controlled communication. In such things, this mobile data terminal is used. Here the data is transmitted from source to destination portably, and this technology is very useful for country to get things done in a proper time and any efficient manner. Smartphones, almost equal to a personal computer, contains functionality features of all the computer systems like softwares, the games, internet access, applications, etc. So it contains a mini keypad with a touch screen, and in these days, the smartphone with a full HD camera is also available at affordable prices. So one of the important features of smartphone is that the applications for enhanced data processing and connectivity can be installed on this device, and bulk amount of data applications, even the images, audio, video files can also be shared to other devices just within few seconds. So this is, you are familiar with the smartphones, and next one is tabloid personal computers. So tablet personal computers is that it is a straight shaped mobile computers. A user can operate this through a stylus or digitalized pen. This is a portable in nature, so contains touchscreen, mouse, and keypad. So contains all the features and access of internet and the data sharing. Laptops, they are considered as the mobile computing devices. So they run through a single main battery consuming power from the external source, and an adapter is used to supply power to the battery of the laptop. So it is a very portable in nature. It Usually, as the term laptop is used, yeah, we can work with placing on our laps. But one thing is, it is always recommended not to use on the laptops, because not to use on the lap since it emits the radiation. So that may cause health issues like the skin related ailments and all. The next, let us understand the different activities concerned with the e-commerce. So e-commerce is rapidly growing industry. In fact, the online sales are growing because of the development of mobile applications in our country. There are the different important activities of e-commerce include online shopping, which we are very much aware of that, placing the order and receiving the products rather than going for physical stores. We can connect, or we can make shopping virtually. Then electronic payments in the financial systems of a country. This electronic system has become much more user nowadays, like even for uh, payment of the utility bills like water bills or payment of electricity bills, even for sending the money for any of our relatives, friends, and all, we do use. Then online shopping, everything is through the electronic payments. Virtual auctions, it is one of version of e-commerce on online auction, which is very much popularized nowadays. The eBay and other websites through they conduct this. Then internet banking. So here, many of the banking activities, rather than going to the banks and doing the transaction personally, has been replaced by the internet banking concept. So you can deposit, you can withdraw, you can have access of your balance amount, or any type of transaction what you want to do can be just done by touching your mobile screens. That is internet banking. Then online ticketing, the most common facility, very regularly utilized. to book the tickets of air tickets or even the traveling through the bus or trains, whatever it is. That is one more component which is used for. And even for tickets for entertainment can also be booked, and even for the sports event, all such things can be booked through the online ticketing component. So there are different softwares which are used in the e-commerce. The majorly used softwares under the e-commerce include the Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, Magneto, Squarespace, Wix, Google Analytics, and Looker. Now let us understand how each of these softwares help the e-commerce. Shopify, as the term Shopify is a shop indicates here, it is a widely recognized e-commerce platform due to its comprehensive tool bundling usability. So it is very easy to use the software. It allows the customers to create an intuitive online stores even if they have technical experience. So a point of sale web hosting platform is created which suits the for all the types of businesses to sell their products, including branding, selling, and order management, everything. So the major sites like the Facebook, Amazon, Pinterest, all these things come under this. So it is a comprehensive toolkit to help the business to do everything from building brand to the payment and shipping concept. So that is Shopify. Then the next one is BigCommerce. So it is another online interface designed to help customers to sell and grow the business through the website builders. This is customable checkout processes. So the platform offer here inventory tracking and Amazon integration of these ease of selling. So BigCommerce offers other integration of Google Shopping like Mailchimping and Instagram Shopping, and the name of you to reach this target audience where they are. The third one is the WooCommerce, the WordPress. You have like to hear the name WooCommerce. So they are the most popular e-commerce word process plugin. So they have the highest usage among the e-commerce software. They are unique in that not in all in one solutions like Shopify or BigCommerce. You first need to use the WordPress before integrating to e-commerce. And while the free app and adds e-commerce functionality to your store, you may need to install other integrations, like some may be free or some may not be free. So that is known as the e-commerce techniques. Like for instance, free HubSpot for WooCommerce integration adds abundant cart marketing, automation, and all. So integration includes scriptations, Google Analytics, Stripe, all these things. Then the next one is Magneto. So Magneto Commerce is owned by Adobe. It's a platform that is highly customizable, engaging, and secure. They offer products including the order management, business intelligence, and a market space to help scale your business. So Magneto offers software for small and mid-market enterprising businesses. So it's a cloud-based service offered to platform to greater flexibility and agility. In addition, the Magneto has unique solutions based on organizational size. So the example of these Magneto for fashion e-commerce platform focuses on creating a dazzling mobile experience, targeting buying options, and primarily meeting the needs of retail stores, all these things. Then Squarespace, this is also a best known component, sleek and easy to use web page builder. The software, the leader for website design, offer drags and drops templates. So users can either customize their sites or use Squarespace ready to made designs. So organizations can now build email campaigns through the Squarespace. Here, they connect with consumers through social media integration, track the visitor behavior, and it helps in entrepreneurs, artisans, even restaurants, and a variety of other customers to create beautiful professional online display. So that is the strength of this Squarespace. And the next one is Wix. It is WIX. So it has e-commerce functionality, being an intuitive interface at a reasonable price. It's more effective for smaller business, but it's difficult to scale up to the larger business since it lacks in multiple skills channels and other complex features which are required for the larger business units. The next component is the Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is a primary source of web analytics. Oh, the service tracks data relating to a business website, traffic and user interactions. So Google Analytics offer comprehensive reports and detailed data dashboards to help business better understand the behavior of visitors and conversations. For instance, the tool might help us to better understand from which social or website sources are the leads have finding here, the landing pages, which blog post converts into the most visitors. If you are looking into maintain or visualize the implementation large amounts of data, Google Analytics might be the best one which is suitable for the business. So, however, it can be daunting if you only need to keep the track of few insights. In cases, the simple analytical tools are enough. The next one is the Looker. It is a data modeling platform. Here, it offers more powerful analytic features to display the business intelligence than metrics on a intuitive dashboards. So here, for e-commerce user, it provides big data on how the web page traffic influences conversations and how to identify the trends that might be boost brand performances through data visualization, embedded analytics, and sleek customization dashboards on these things. Usually, Looker can help us in an effective way to get growth of our business. So, in your textbook, in page number 66, we have certain aspects just to check our progress with the unit 4 of the block 1, which is the correct syntax for a web address. It is HTTP, domain name, directory path, and a file name. The second one is the HTML, which stands for Hypertext and Links Markup Language. Third one is which internet language is used for including text articles, blogs for data sharing over the internet. It is the RSS. So we have already discussed these things. XML format, which is known as the really simple syndication, that is RSS. Then the next one is software that requests data from a web server is known as the client. And which of the following allows us to access email from anywhere? That is the webmail interface. The term which allows us to access email from anywhere is known as the email webmail interface. So in the first block of the advanced e-commerce, we have learned so far the 4 units. One is based, the first one is on introduction to e-commerce. Second one is managing electronic commerce. And the third one is various business models for e-commerce. And the fourth one including the knowledge of internet and its implications for the e-commerce. Now let us move on to the next block, that is the second block. Under the second block, we have again the 4 units, especially these units under the second block. They concentrate on the portals, the data warehousing, e-marketing, and e-customer relationship management. So here, portal is a major visiting center for internet users. So usually we call it many times the web portals and all, how this portal functions, what are the synonym for this, what are the advantages, and different examples of these portals that we will be learning. And under the data warehousing, we will be understanding about the data in different forms, how it is stored, and what is the application of these data sources in e-commerce management. And when it comes to the terms of marketing, especially any business for that matter, which caters the requirements of consumers or which is capable of fulfilling the overall requirement of customers and reaching them for a longer time period, will be in the competition in the business. So marketing professionals try to continue to stay in the correct and the latest trends of online technologies and the practicing trends to understand the customers and to catering their requirements with the continued education and attending the networking events relating to this. So the professional development and understanding of e-commerce help us to understand the pulses of market and to reach our customers. And in the last unit of this, we will be studying about the how to manage the data of consumers or customer through our customer relationship management by using the different types of aspects of e-commerce or internet systems. Now let us move on to the next one, that is the portal. So I think I can stop here. Hardly last another 1 minute is left. So instead of commencing this, we can have the discussion on this in the next class. We will be continuing with the next block as well. Okay. I think I can stop here. Thank you all.